The sound quality better with Google Hangouts than you were getting with Skype?
Yes. Hello, and welcome into a Friday edition of the Computer America Show. It's our pre-show Hangouts. Welcome into the Friday edition of the program. Of course, Charles Tendell, which is scheduled to be with me tonight. Of course, well, you wouldn't have. I'm saying, of course, but you don't know this.
4 minutes
But
until showtime.
his plane got delayed, and so he can't be on the show with us tonight. But filling in for him is once again Ben. So,
happy to do it.
Yeah, Ben's co-hosting with me. We're going to have an interesting show. We have David Perry from F-Secure is going to be joining us. He's in here now, and you can see him. He's sitting very, very still. If you're watching online, he doesn't move very much. And he's
He had a very animated pose, though. It's wonderful.
And then, of course, why do I keep saying "of course"? And then in hour two, we're going to have Halo Belt joining us. They make,
of course.
They make some really interesting devices. And since it's Friday, we're going to have our show reminder winner of the week. All that coming up here on the Computer America Show. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and we'll be starting in a few minutes, about 3 minutes and some few seconds. Oh, there's Jack. He's back. Hi, Jack. Hi, Jack.
3 minutes until showtime.
Okay, and yep. Okay, and David's back in the chat room too, once again.
That's right. I'm back in the chat room again.
I'm back in the chat room again, where a friend is a friend.
Hey, Greg, I sent you a picture.
I have something Magic Castle to tell you. You know, in the inner circle down in the basement, we have the. This is not for on the air though, but you know we have the W.C. Fields pool table and all that stuff down there.
Yeah.
It's all going away.
Why would you send me that picture, Ben? It's disgusting.
It's not disgusting.
What?
That's the lead actor of Guardians of the Galaxy. That's before and after.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, how much he lost and bulked up?
Yeah.
That picture of me was taken in a zoo in Sydney, Australia, and I am being chased by an ostrich all over the zoo. Hey, you would run.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Those things are big.
Big, nasty, ostrichy kind of things with big, sharp teeth.
You didn't give it enough time, Ben. You went in there, and it was going to make you an op, but...
Wait, Greg, wait.
Right.
No one asked for the opinions.
I have to make Dave a voice. I have to give you voice status in the chat.
I'm convinced that every time we do a CAPTCHA with like a street address, it's Google figuring out ways to make the masses do their dirty work.
Mm-hmm. No. Anyway, I gave you voice status now. That means you're the guest in the chat room, Dave.
Oh, okay. Well, let me switch back over to the chat room.
Yeah, you see you have a grade.
You're such an Apple user. And by the way, the products I'm going to talk to you about tonight are OS X and Windows and iOS and Android.
Except it's OS 10, not OS X, but yes, that's cool.
OS 10.
1 minute until showtime.
I got a look at an iPhone 6 mock-up today.
Yeah, but how do you know if it's real?
It was real. I know a lot of people that work at Apple.
Well, are you impressed?
I'm going to go for it. It's a phablet. It's the big one. It's the 5.5-inch one.
Yeah.
And I am about ready for a bigger phone. And I will tell you, I have stopped putting phones up to my head entirely because I got a double earphone with a boom mic Bluetooth headset.
Wow.
Off of eBay for like $25, and it works great and holds a charge for like 6 days, you know? Because it's big. It's a great big over-the-ear headset, and you can't drive with it on, of course. That's against the law. But anything else, it's great because you can listen to music, and if the phone rings, you just tap the headset.
Hey, we're starting. We're starting.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
Hey, Ben. Okay, how are you?
Happy to be here again, unscheduled.
Yes, Charles Tendell, who was normally scheduled to be here tonight, basically his plane was delayed, and so he is on his way to Las Vegas now as we speak. He might actually even be at the airport at this point, and but we realized that he probably would not be able to make it for tonight's show, and so Ben is my co-host for the evening, and we're going to enjoy the pleasure of his company for both hours of the Computer America Show. Coming up in the second hour, we're going to have a company called Halo Belt. They make these really cool little technology things that you can wear that make you glow in the dark, and they charge with USB. It's just a really interesting concept, and we're going to have the president of the company just talk a little bit about what it is that they have, the different products that they make, and they'll be on the show in the second hour. And of course, let's see, it's Friday. Yes, we made it once again, and it is. And by the way, what happened to July, Ben?
I know, you just said that last night. What happened to continuity?
I have no idea. Well, last night wasn't. It was still June.
At the very end of the show, you said,
July, yeah, now it's August. All right, well.
I mean, whatever gets summer out the door faster, fine with me.
And that means we're going to have our show reminder winner of the week. And to let you know, this is the last night, Friday night, for our Logitech contest. That's right. You have till midnight tonight Eastern time to get your entry in. But if you don't, we're going to have another one. Okay? Although it's going to be a refresh of the prizes. We're going to have new prizes, according to Logitech, so we'll have to see what those are. But unless you get your entry in now before midnight tonight, Eastern Time, that's when we close it down. So get your entry in. Head over to our contest page at computeramerica.com and get your entries in. We already have our show reminder winner of the week. We'll announce that a little bit later. Let me tell you how you can contact us. If you have a question for us or our guests tonight, you can give us a call. And it is 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. We'll get you on and get you through. We also have email, if you like. It is live, L-I-V-E, at computeramerica.com. You can also join us in our live interactive chat room. Just head to our homepage at computeramerica.com. Right there in the center of it, you'll see there's a big button that says chat room/live video. Just click that. It'll take you to our chat room page, and just put. It'll ask you. It's our IRC chat room page. It'll ask you for a nickname. You put something in there that's nice, and it has the CAPTCHA. So you have to put in whatever the number or word is, just to make sure that it's. They do that, I guess, because they want to make sure it's not a bot. And click the connect button, and your browser will move you into the Computer America chat room where Ben is. Addison Fort is in there. Our guest David Perry is in there. We got a whole bunch of people in there, and we certainly welcome you to join us. And also sharing that very same page is our live Computer America video streaming page, and that's brought to you by Other World Computing. Quality products, expert support since 1988. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary. Please visit them at their website at www.macsales.com. I mean, you have any computer needs, Mac, PC, you name it, they have it. They have some of the best values anywhere. Any order you place over $49, you get free ground shipping, and that means about 80% of the country, it's 2 days. You'll get what it is. They have legacy memory for your legacy Mac battery, like portable batteries back to 1998. I mean, they have all this stuff. They even have their own YouTube channel, so you can see instructional videos. And they've got a couple of brand new things. I talked about one of them last night. Their headless mini video accelerator, and we need to talk a little bit more about that tonight, and I'll tell you about that probably in the second hour of the show. But head over to MacSales, MacSales.com. You're going to be really happy that you did. Okay. So that's our live video streaming page, and you can check that out. And I think that's everything. So let's introduce our guest tonight. I know he's patiently waiting in the wings. He's a friend of the show, longtime friend of the show, David Perry. He's been in the computer game for over 30 years, doing everything from tech support to being the educational spokesperson for companies like Trend and OnLabs and Symantec and Cybermedia and so many more. These efforts have made him one of the country's leading anti-malware experts. David is back from Helsinki recently and is now the threat strategist and spokesperson for F-Secure. Isn't that cool? He came back.
You know, I made up that job title. I'm going to just be honest with you. I am a company spokesperson. That's what I do. And in the industry, you know that they call this job an evangelist, and that was a title that first came up with a friend of yours, Guy Kawasaki, who's been on your show many times.
Yes, and I still haven't introduced him, but he'll be on shortly. He's also an official Computer America correspondent.
Guy is? Really?
No, you are. They are the
I am. Oh, okay, great. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. But go ahead.
All right, thank you. They're the few, the proud, and the very different. David, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
I'm great. I'm sorry I'm missing Charles tonight. I will look for him as soon as I get to Vegas. I'm surprised that he's going in this early because the show doesn't open till Tuesday.
Well, he's not going to a hotel. He's evidently has a house, a private home that he's using, and which has excellent internet connection. He's brought his whole family, and so I guess he just kind of wanted to get comfortable and spend the weekend there, and then and meet up with other people. And he's going to be at Black Hat as well as DEF CON. So
Me too.
Yep, there you go. So,
but I'm not staying for much of DEF CON because I have to turn around and go back to Helsinki with a stop in London on the way.
Well, you're just the globetrotter,
It's right, that kind of thing I do for a living.
Yeah, I know exactly.
So I'll look him up. I have his. You can send me his contact information, and I will give him a call and stuff, and look him up when I get there.
Yeah.
Are you going to be having some shows from the?
Yeah, we certainly are. Yeah, he's got the camera. We're going to do live interviews. He's going to do the whole thing from.
Right on. It's quite the thing. You should make it out there to it someday. It's very strange.
Yes, I'm sure it is. So, yes.
Go ahead. You were.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to be talking about F-Secure that you know or who now employs you, and we're going to be talking about some of their products. And since it's Friday night, we'll probably be all over the road. We'll talk about movies. I understand that you finally got to see Guardians of the Galaxy, which is great.
Yeah.
So we'll get a little mini review. No spoilers, please, on this show because I want to see this movie, from straight on. So
Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is it is a film made from a popular 1980s comic series from Marvel that, I don't know, are you a Marvel kind of a guy? Do you remember Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
Okay, well, it's funny. It's a funny superhero comic.
I know. I got that from the previous.
Right, and it was spectacular, and my wife Margaret wanted me to say that it has the absolute best soundtrack she's ever seen in a movie because it's all 80s hits.
All right. Well, good. Well,
I laughed, I cried, I fell in love all over again. I recommend it for everyone. I think everyone would love this movie, including both of you, so go see it. Are you in the same city as I talk to you?
No. Ben is in Florida. I'm in the Carolinas, and Charles is usually in Colorado. But right now...
My sister just moved to North Carolina, to Raleigh-Durham, and I'm going to come out and visit her and come and visit y'all.
Well, that's good.
That's how you say that in Carolina, right? Y'all? I'll come and visit y'all?
Something like that.
That's it. You got it.
Ben Ben used to be, but evidently he's no longer a big movie fan. He goes to movies infrequently.
Did you like the new Ron Burgundy picture, Ben, that you were looking forward to?
Oh, I didn't even see that one. In my younger days, my parents would drop me off with a fistful of dollars and tell me to get out of the way for a couple hours. And
that was a good movie with a fistful of dollars. That's a Clint Eastwood picture.
Yeah,
never saw that one either.
Showing my age. You should see that one. That one's spectacular. That's your quintessential spaghetti western.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to tell you guys, I've been bouncing around for the last couple of years. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Wait. I think we have Charles Tendell is calling in. So
nice.
Adam here. Charles, is that you?
It is. I am still sitting in an airport, but I wanted to call and let you know that we are now just having to go ahead to board our plane. So we've been sitting in the Denver International Airport for an entire business day. How fun is this?
Oh, loads of fun. Yeah. Did you go through the?
Yeah, I know. Gotta look.
Did you go through airport security?
Yeah, we actually went through airport security twice.
Great.
Charles, this is David Perry. I fly in Monday morning, so you can. I will be there on Monday. And do you want to get together and do dinner or something?
Sure. Are you coming to Black Hat, or are you going to DEF CON, or both?
Both, actually. I've been to all of both of them.
Boy, we're hearing.
Okay, well, we're doing both. We've got the Azorian Cybersecurity Hack House is going down. We've got some Advon party that are already there right now getting stuff set up and everything. So if you want to come out to the house and see what a bunch of hackers with, a broadband internet and mild adult supervision do on a weekend or weekly basis, you can come hang out.
Cool. I have a whole bunch of. Do you do any hardware hacking?
We do. Well, depends on what kind of hardware. What are you trying to do?
I'm actually building a couple of things out of Raspberry Pi and Arduino parts, and I'm actually joined a hackerspace here in Los Angeles, and they're helping me develop the circuitry and get the headers ready for so it's all Python, so it's all easy peasy stuff.
Definitely. If you bring it by the house, we're going to have a whole crew. I know we've got 2 hardware guys, a bunch of software guys, and then we've got a couple other guys that are joining us that are coming in from California, and I think we even got somebody from New York coming in.
Now we're going to be able to do some interviews and pictures. What goes out there next week, right?
Well, I'm going to record interviews.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get people to come and join the show live, but I will definitely be recording interviews. I have my media kit all with me.
Well, what I'm thinking is, if you look at the calendar, like the 6th, that's with Mike Cermak. We can do things live for the entire show if you want to. Whatever you want to do, you tell us, and we'll get it coordinated. Okay?
Well, the live portion is going to be harder to do because remember the conference ends at the beginning, before the show begins. So I'd either have to grab someone and bring him back to the house, which I'm not really open to doing, but.
And Craig, this is a pretty well established party scene on top of everything else.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how it works out, and we can certainly have you on the show and talking about things that you've seen out there. That certainly will be.
Yeah. I think Black House is going to be a lot of entertaining fun. We're going to see a lot of the executives out there that are interested in stuff that we do. So.
Excellent.
Nice. We have our most hacker positive guy is going to be there. Mikko is speaking, Mikko Huppinen, and you might recall he was very controversial when he backed out of RSA last year because he was disgusted that they had put a backdoor in their stuff for the NSA.
Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't he be disgusted? Everybody on the planet was disgusted with that one.
But he was their keynote, and he backed out and started his own conference across the street.
Hey, that loud intercom is really obnoxiously loud. So I think we're just going to let you go, Charles, and we'll see you. I'll talk to you about over the weekend, and then we'll get things set up for the coming week's show. Okay?
All right, guys. Have a good show.
All right. Have a safe.
I'll see you on Monday, Charles.
All right. Take care.
Yes, sir. See you Monday.
All righty. Bye-bye. All right. Charles Tendell, certified ethical hacker, going to be with us.
Still alive.
Still alive and kicking. Yeah, exactly. All right.
I am not. I don't know if I am going to bring hardware stuff to mess with me because like I said, I get out, I leave there, fly home, switch suitcases with my wife, and fly directly to London, and then from London to Helsinki, and then from Helsinki to Sao Paulo, Brazil, and then home.
What language do they speak in Helsinki?
Suomi.
Suomi?
Suomi. Finnish. It's a language that's extremely unusual. It's not in the same language group as any other European language. They only speak it in Finland, Hungary, Turkey, and Estonia. In all the world. So, and it's a language that's left over from Genghis Khan.
Wow.
I know that's bizarre, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just going to tell you. You know, I kicked around for a couple of years and consulted with a number of companies, OnLab and Komodo and GData, and I was on your show for all of those companies.
Sure.
I have now found another permanent home. This is an employee situation, and I am there, and I am very pleased to be at F-Secure, which is one of the oldest security companies on the globe. They've been in business 26 years, which is as long as I've been in security. Now, you know, I've been in tech support for another 10 years before that.
Yeah.
And I'm almost as long with computers as you are. But I was not a computer science major in college. But I did just tell your son that I have actually batch moded programs before on punch cards. And, of course, remember all about buying your account time in the dead of night when it was cheaper. Did you do that?
No, fortunately, my account. I mean, it was all part of the university program, and so I can go into the computer room at any time.
You just had to arm wrestle all the other nerds just to get the good time.
Yeah.
All of the research scientists in the early 70s had all of the good time slots. So, like, if you were a doctoral candidate and were doing research, you got the PDP-10. That was the big iron at UCI. You got it in the daytime, and if you were
we had a UNIVAC computer
yeah, we had a Sigma 7 that was a Xerox machine and a PDP-10, a DEC 10 that was a very popular computer. But you know what? I don't want to talk about ancient history because nothing could interest your listeners less than that, I think.
You know, and by the way, obviously the word's getting out because we're getting a lot of people entering the contest the last minute. So, you know, head over to the contest page again. It's going to finish up at midnight tonight, Eastern Time.
Anyway, so I'm thrilled to be at F-Secure, who has for many, many years put out just top-rated, very top-notch stuff. And they've got some very famous security experts who work for them. Mikko Huppinen, the original founder of F-Secure, is now the CEO of Nokia.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And, of course, Finland is where Linux comes from.
I did not know that.
It's a very technology-positive kind of a culture. And they have a very strongly privacy-oriented culture as well. So they value privacy a lot. And I want to talk tonight about a particular thing that we're doing called United. Now I'm going to spell that. That's YOUNITED. That's YOUNITED. And that sounds like the name of a product you would get from a Northern European country, right? But it's a fantastic product, and it's free. You can get it on the App Store for your iOS device. You can get it on. You can get it off of our webpage for your OS X device. You can get it for Windows. You can get it for Android. And what it does is
it's not OS X. It's OS 10.
OS 10. OS 10. For those of you who read the letter X as a letter, it's OS X. And I even took Latin in high school and college, so go figure that.
Roman numeral 10. Okay.
Right, Roman numeral 10. Right. It makes me want to say, you know, Odysseus, my friend, what happened to your nose? I've just returned from Rome. Okay, so anyway, so that was a little bit of fire sign theater for those of you who are old hippies. Anyway, so the point is, they used to make a backup product at F-Secure, and they said, you know, everybody hates backup products. Don't you agree? And in fact, the only backup product in the world that I really, really like is Time Machine, which is the finest backup program ever made. Do you use Time Machine?
All the time. I just let it run. I let it do its thing, and because it's part of the operating system, you know, and I just let it do it for Mac OS 10.
Right. Well, you know, what happened was they started looking at how people are storing their cloud-based data. And there's people, you've got stuff in the cloud on Facebook, you've got stuff on MySpace maybe, you've got it in Dropbox, you've got it on Google Drive, you've got it in Picasa, you know, you've got documents, you've got Evernote, Office 365, Gmail, all kinds of things going on, and stuff in iTunes, in the iTunes cloud. And the thing is, everybody's trying to sequester you into a service where they own your data in order to keep your subscription up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
What we decided to do was increase and they're either a free service, in which case they are selling you advertising and almost always selling your data to advertisers, okay? Or they're a pay service, and if you manage to not pay it, you don't get to see your data anymore. So what we did at F-Secure is we created United, which is a social media-based, utterly secure, utterly private, cloud-based storage device. You get 5 gigabytes for free. Sorry, 5 megabytes for free, okay? 5 megabytes is not a whole heck of a lot, right? But it's enough that if what you're going to use it for is passing a folder or a presentation or something from your home computer to your work computer, it's great for that. You can buy a larger storage amount. I've got a big old account, and what you can do is you can set it up to automatically sync, your iPhone photos up into the cloud and empty up that space.
Yeah.
So you quit hogging all the space on your iPhone. And it comes with, on your mobile devices, it comes with a social media app called Events that lets you create an event that's tied to it, where I invite everybody to my birthday party, and if they come and they've got United, all of our photos that we all take of the birthday party are collated to exact time and interspersed together in a shared folder between the lot of us.
All right, now I'm looking at the United Events. This is on the F-Secure one. It says United Events gives you new perspectives on special moments. It's a bright new idea for sharing photos and videos. Enjoy the photos of your best friend's wedding, the tension of your favorite sporting clash, or the sweat of your band's first gig, all in United Events, and even if you weren't there.
Right.
Yeah. You create your own private event to share special moments with close friends and join public events to experience content from other people. You can even see what public events are taking place nearby, so you don't miss out in real life either. This is kind of cool. Yeah.
It's actually massively cool. I put it on all of my devices, and I have all of the things that I mentioned for cloud storage and then some, because like you, I tend to use everything and its brother online, and I know you're the same way. In fact, you've got accounts that you've forgotten about by now, I would imagine.
Probably.
Okay, but this is interesting. You can try it out for free, download it, give it a try, and I will. I don't know that I can give away any larger accounts of that on here, but maybe I can. Let me ask when I'm in Helsinki and see what they can do for me.
Well, listen, but basically it works on the iPhone, it works on Android, and also you can get it from the Windows Store too, so you can run it on your computer.
Right.
So it's really it works.
And OS 10.
And OS 10, yeah, the platforms. Well, if you download it from the App Store, that means it's going to be either for OS 10 or you can get it for your iPhone, so iOS devices. And then the website goes on and says, how does it work? You can, and then they give you different examples of how everything works here, which is kind of cool. So you can create your own private event for everyone at let's say at your wedding, see other people's photos and videos of your favorite sporting.
Now, I'm gonna point something out real fast. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm gonna point something out really fast. United Events and United are two separate apps, and you need both of them to do that. You have to get United first, which is the ground. It's the web storage thing. Yeah, the Anchor app, and then you get Events. Events you cannot do from your computer. You can only do from a mobile device right now. But it's fully encrypted. It is fully backed up itself. We keep it in several different locations. We're not going to lose your stuff. And the additional storage, I do not know the prices on it off the top of my head, but it was quite inexpensive. And it is absolutely private. We say no to the prying eyes of governments, and we don't sell your information to advertisers. Nothing goes out from your account that you do not take out yourself or invite someone else to see yourself. So I think that makes it because I look at the existing ones that I've got, and they're great, but where's the privacy and where's the fun? And this is fun. I use this all the time.
Really. and you do a lot of traveling too. So
right, and you know, I'm in. Here I am. I'm in. What I did was I've got a gigantic. They of course gave me a humongous account, so I've got a gigantic folder full of PowerPoint presentation slides. Huge, 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 huge folder full of PowerPoint presentation slides, and I just took it and dumped it onto United, and then when I am in Helsinki on my work computer, I can pull down a set of slides, or if I'm in the office with all I've got is my iPad, I can pull down some slides and email them to somebody, and I don't have to have all of this storage used up on all of those devices. Now, my new computer, I've got a Dell XPS that is running off of a RAM drive, an SSD, and it's a lovely computer, but you realize that I had been used to running around with 6 or 7 times this much storage lately in the last couple of years, and the RAM drives are not quite the same size as what you were used to in your full-size notebooks. So this really extends my local storage, and there's all kinds of, I don't know, have you gotten to a point with any of your SSD-based devices where you've had to reformat them because they don't defrag the same way regular drives do?
Ben, because I don't have an SSD drive. Ben's got the SSD drive. Have you ever had to reformat it?
You know, it's a small one, so I know it would get cluttered up faster than, you know, one of the larger ones. But since it has my operating system on it, I've been dragging my feet on it. So no. But I have noticed that the performance has been slipping lately.
Yeah, they're awfully touchy that way. So I'm storing less stuff on my SSD. I'm putting it in United, and that way when I need to pull down, you know, slides and work on a presentation from a hotel in Las Vegas, or you know, I'll be in a airport myself. In fact, I'll be in all of the airports everywhere all the time between now and then. And when I cut you off at the start of the show, I was going to say I made up that job title. What I am is what they call in the industry an evangelist, which means I go around and spread the good news. And that job title was made up, well, of course it comes from Catholicism, evangelios, and Christianity, but we get it in the software industry from a guy who's a friend of yours, Craig, Guy Kawasaki.
Oh, yes, okay, yeah.
And Guy's been on the show many times, hasn't he?
Okay. Yes, he has in the past. No, that's been a long time, but he has been in the past.
I don't even know what he's doing anymore. Guy started the whole idea.
He was a big Apple guy, and then of course he left. You know, and then back then. So. Yeah.
Well, everybody left. Even Steve Jobs left for a while, as I recall.
Is it true?
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I do. I have a technical background. I no longer get in and mess around very hard with highly technical stuff. I sit and study technology so that when there's something to be commented on, that I am there to make the comment. And I think I do pretty well at something that you specialize in, which is translating stuff down into regular English so ordinary people can understand it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And that's the nature of the job. That's what you're asked to do, and that's what I'm asked to do. Mm-hmm. And so that's United, and you can all try that out for free. It's one of the many products that we have. I also would like to. Are we going to have callers tonight?
I don't know. We gave out the number, and I'll give it out again. If you have a question for David Perry about F-Secure or for Internet security for all your devices, their anti-malware products, give us a call at 347-884-8881, and
I will give away to some callers. I will give away some free 1-year packages for any 3 machines, Mac or PC, of our Internet security package that does a lot of great stuff. It does all the ordinary stuff. It does antivirus. It augments your existing firewall. It says, David, it's time to shut up because we're going to go to a commercial break.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. All right, you listen to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network. David Perry's offering some great prizes from F-Secure. Give us a call, 347-884-8881. I'll get you on and get you through. You're listening to the Computer America Show. We will be right back.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No hair removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host, Cheryl, for No hair removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented Thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the No, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible No hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5415. That's 800-953-5415. 800-953-5415.
Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission is to protect and enhance the lives of companion animals and the people who love them. Their no-kill rescue shelter is open year-round, making it easy for people to adopt their best new friend. This year, Brother Wolf will find homes for over 2,400 orphan dogs, puppies, cats, and kittens. All have ended up as an orphan through no fault of their own. Brother Wolf has created a safe, nurturing environment where these special animals can heal emotionally and physically until they find a lifelong home. Their life-saving transport program brings dogs and puppies from overcrowded shelters in the south to rescues in the north where homes are easier to find. Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is a 501c3 organization. To learn more about their life-saving work and to make a donation, visit their website at www.bwar.org. That's www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Oh, hello. This is Marty Winston for Computer America with a News Tips Bulletin Review of the Tenda Wireless AC1200 Wi-Fi dongle. And by dongle, we mean it plugs into USB and just sits there. Now, if you build a lot of PCs, and we're building yet another Windows PC, and you don't feel like dragging a wire across the floor to hook it up to the internet, you can get a USB dongle for Wi-Fi, and we picked up a Tenda W900U wireless AC1200 dual band, that's important, USB adapter, meaning 802.11.AC is ours, just by plugging it in and installing its drivers. That second 5 gigahertz band allows almost triple the throughput, and every new install seems to suck the internet dry with downloads and updates. So we decided to lose a little weight, W-A-I-T, weight. It works. The Tenda Wireless AC1200 Wi-Fi dongle lets you plug into higher speed Wi-Fi and get done sooner. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show, 33 minutes past the hour, and I hope all of you caught that because I believe that'll be the last time we hear that particular one from Marty Winston. So, next one will be next week, and we will have a new one.
Two of them. Two new ones.
Two new ones, that's right. Always one first hour and one in the second hour. We are continuing on with David Perry, and he, of course, I think it's safe to say...
You've just cut mine, of course.
Of course. So, I think it's safe to say that whenever David Perry's on, he has a lot of swag that he likes to give out. So, if you call in, ask a question, I'm sure he can generally find something for you.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that, but, please hit up David Perry all day long.
I still have Dr. Dogs in the garage, but I don't give them out anymore because they just don't burn long enough,
Exactly. And one of the things that I guess we didn't really mention so far in the show is that in our show calendar we have this whole month, August, labeled as back to school. So we were kind of talking about United from F-Secure, YO United. Could this be used for students in any way? Just trying to tie it.
great for students because if you're like me, and I am actually a currently enrolled college student going to the college of my choice as we speak, and my wife is in college, I'm in college. You get to school, I do this all the time. I get to school, I open up my laptop, and oh my gosh, I was working on that file on my desktop and forgot to bring it with me. Has that ever happened to you?
All the time.
Well, see, here you have a cloud storage space that you can dump it in where you can retrieve it from wherever you're at. As long as you're connected to the internet, as long as there's an internet connection, you are connected to your storage.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, most places have internet connection, or, you know, worst case, you can always pull it up on your phone, I'd assume, if you have that app as well.
Yeah, you can put it, I've actually pulled stuff onto my phone and emailed it to my computer.
Technology, there's always a workaround.
Yeah, and of course nowadays I am using a new HP 80, not new, but it's a year old now, but an 8600 HP OfficeJet all-in-one printer, and it has all of the new OfficeJet printers from HP come with their own email address that are unique. So when you buy the printer, it already has an email address. And it tells you the email address during the install, and you just tell that to your iPhone, and you can mail stuff to your printer, and it'll print remotely from wherever you are in the world.
Is that a feature that's probably going to, keep happening? Are printers, kind of separating themselves from computers more and more, and they're kind of their own devices?
Well, the controller that's on a printer is a full-fledged computer in its own right, and has been for quite a while.
Because I know, like, the last time that I had to go looking for a printer, whenever Craig didn't just throw one at me and said, "Here, I'm done with this one, have it," they all had to be hooked up to a computer to install and work and to be used. You had to install it with the computer. I mean,
most of your printers that are good printers that you find these days come with Wi-Fi built into them.
Yep. That's right. So you don't have to hook them. They self-configure. They automatically find the Wi-Fi network. The one that I have is the Epson Small-in-One. It does more than the big Epson Artisan series that it replaced. It was the easiest thing in the world to hook up. I mean, you just basically plugged it in. It went out and found everything. You did everything.
But I mean, there was that thing where it came with a book of 18 CDs, and it's like please insert CD number 1, and we'll get this thing started. Like, is that not a thing anymore?
No, it's not. That doesn't work. I haven't seen I haven't used an installation CD in a long time.
You keep tempting me, Ben, to talk about the bad old days of computers, and I'm working real hard to avoid doing that.
I didn't know they were the old days. I was still living in them.
No, you don't know. There used to be the only kind of, before everything came with internet built into it, there used to be something called Novell NetWare that you had to install, and you had to set up a server, and it came on floppy disks, on 5 1/4-inch floppy disks, on 58 of them. 58 of them. And during the course of the install, they would destroy themselves. Do you remember this, Craig?
Yes, vaguely. I do remember that, though, yes.
They would absolutely destroy themselves and were never usable ever again once it was installed. So your first thing you would do is sit down and make a copy of 58 disks, and then you would do the install.
These were the horror stories of early computing, Ben, and they were horror stories. They really were.
I have a picture here of Windows 8.1 available on floppy disk, and it's only 3,711 of them. But I mean, these days are still among us.
That's not real, is it? Did they really offer?
Oh yeah, no. Microsoft will send that to you.
But I'll tell you, AOL does not send you free CDs in the mail anymore.
I know, my coasters are gone.
Yeah.
Shame.
This is an actual picture of, and they're wrapped in like brown wrapping paper. And the first disc is Windows 8.1, disc 1 of 3,711. And then they have disc 2.
It's a gag. That's a gag.
I can't believe
it's
that.
Real.
First off, show me a computer with a floppy drive in it.
I think they make them for those specialized, like the really old hardware that they just can't get rid of. So.
No, they don't make Windows. Don't you Ben? Have you ever heard of John Dvorak?
I'm gonna say no.
John Dvorak is a famous columnist from PC Magazine from back in the day, and he said the whole purpose of Windows, the reason Windows exists, is to make your last year's computer hardware obsolete.
Jonathan in the chat room said there was a video where they showed part of the computer system that's used to control our nuclear weapons still use 8-inch floppy disks.
Oh yeah, that was a big scandal that happened like a couple of weeks ago or something like that. And they, they were doing like how the people who are in charge of the nukes were like sleeping. They find like the doors to the nuclear launch chamber open, and like the pizza delivery guy would find the guy sleeping there and just walk in, and they're doing all that. And the launch codes are still on floppy disk.
Oh my God. That can't be true.
Very true.
I'm telling Star Fortress. He told me that he has a machine with floppy drives. I have machines with floppy drives. All of us. Do you still own your legacy machines? Are they in a storage place someplace?
I still have floppy disks in storage. I don't know what's on them anymore. I just throw them all away. But no, they're still in there. I got to clean all that stuff out.
I've got virus samples with floppy drives on them.
Oh God.
Because there are those ones that only traveled via floppy drives.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Now, we're starting to see more activity on USB sticks, where malware is traveling via USB sticks. The USB stick has kind of taken the place of the floppy drive as a portable medium for malware.
Did you see that news story we did last night? That the USB drive, anything with a USB on it, mouse, keyboard.
What do they call them? They call them bad USB.
Yeah, bad USB. And
yes.
Yeah. Good grief. So if you go to a Goodwill, you see keyboards at a Goodwill store and you buy one, it could be the keyboard could be infected. The mouse could be infected.
Well, yes and no. It depends on what kind of keyboard we're talking about. How much RAM is in a keyboard?
Well, it's just enough to get things started, right?
Most gaming keyboards nowadays actually come with some RAM just to save your settings on them.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing gaming keyboards showing up in the Goodwill.
That's true.
Besides, new keyboards are really cheap. You go to Micro Center or someplace, and a new keyboard's like $19.
That's a pizza.
It is. It's a pizza. I use the Microsoft ergonomic keyboard. The big curve kind?
Oh, yes. I still remember. I remember those.
I hate those.
Well, what? You either love them or hate them, and I love them.
Why do you
You go from a normal keyboard, and then Microsoft's like, here, we have this way that'll save your wrist and save arthritis, and, it's just natural to the human hand, or what have you. And then you try to type on it going from a normal keyboard, and you're striking keys that are 4 to 5 keys away from where you want to hit.
Well, I'm going to jump back because this is Stream of Consciousness conversation with David, Craig, and Ben, and tell you that one of the things that we have that's a very unusual feature is if F-Secure's Internet Security, or also F-Secure Safe, which is the new name for that, if it discovers that you're going to any place where you're going to make a financial transaction, it shuts down all other modes of communication to the computer. It won't open a new USB port. It won't open a new web port. It won't open a new, anything. No datagram, universal datagram ports, nothing. It shuts everything down to just that financial transaction while the transaction is taking place.
Evidently, there was a video, John Oliver. It was entitled "Why Do Floppy Disks Control Nuclear Weapons?" And we actually have a link to it, the bit.
He's a funny guy. Is that John Oliver?
Yeah, evidently, and so it must be true.
Right, and you could see where that video was if you were on the chat room.
Yeah.
Where right now we have maybe a dozen people.
Yeah, we got Bruce in there. He's a new user. I think, as I said.
And my friend Tony from Kansas.
Yeah, Tony from Kansas. He's new as well. We got a lot of new users in here tonight. It's
right.
Of course, and then the usual suspects, which we always enjoy. All right, so basically, so we haven't even gotten into Safe yet, have we?
No, we'll be talking about Safe over the weeks as I come on the show.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about United tonight, and I am getting ready to come back at some point in the future and talk about Freedom again. Right now, we're not in a trial period for Freedom, so all you can get is a 7-day trial. So next time I come back, I'll have some better news because I want people to try it for a longer period of time.
Yeah, let me just do this. Let me interject again. If you missed it, David Perry is offering some of these products for free to callers. So if you want to call us, 347-884-8881. We'll get one of these to you. I mean, from F-Secure. These are valuable. They're viable products of anti-malware.
Yeah, no, I'm talking the full like $89 package that any 3 computers you can install
that's right.
on.
$89. 347-884-8881. Give us a call. All right. So Kansas in this is he's been using Freedom now for a few months and he loves it.
It's amazing. I am going to be walking around DEF CON with Freedom on my phone and my iPad with Mikko Huppanen and Timo Kontanen, and we're going to be shooting a video of the 3 of us going around with these devices wide open, chatting on Wi-Fi. And I don't know if you know this about DEF CON, but they run a contest where if you get hacked on your device while you're there, you end up on what they call the wall of sheep.
Yes.
Well, with Freedom installed, your machine does not exit the VPN tunnel until it gets all the way to Europe. So there's no way for them to hack anybody to run a man-in-the-middle attack there in Las Vegas.
Yeah, so, if you use a password or something, and your password and everything will appear up on the wall of sheep. They asterisk it out some of it, so they don't give it. But the point is that they find it and they display everything up to the last few letters to show that your system's been hacked. You do not want to use Wi-Fi when you go to DEF CON or Black Hat.
Only I'm doing it just as a test.
Yeah. Okay. and how does that test go?
It's this week, Craig.
I know. So you're going to be doing it again to see if people can hack into your system?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to wear a shirt that says "Hack Me" because these people take that stuff awfully seriously. Somebody would come up and punch you in the nose and grab your phone, and that's certainly a valid hack.
That's called social engineering right there.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that commercial? The guy was talking about his new security feature of his phone. The guy said, "What?" And he threw it at him right in the face.
Yeah, I always find that very funny, personally. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna poke the bear, as we say, you know. But I will definitely, I'll definitely carry it out there and test it. We've had them. We've been running them tests all over the world, in very hacker positive areas. You know, a lot of places you go with your tablet or with your phone, and I'm gonna guess you guys carry an Android tablet or an iPad with you when you go places, don't you?
Charles does. Yes, he does. He carries all of them.
Yeah. And, you know, you're logging into Wi-Fi. Well, frequently, if you go to a train station, like if you go to the big train station in New York City, to Penn Station or Grand Central Station, and you pull up your thing and you open up the Wi-Fi and it says Grand Central Station, well, you're probably not logging into Grand Central Station. You're logging into something called an evil twin. Have we ever talked about that on here?
Yeah, we have, but go ahead and talk. This is sort of like a honeypot or just an evil.
Well, I can name my computer anything I want to on a network, so I can call my computer Grand Central Station and go sit in Grand Central Station, and people log onto my computer, and that makes me a middleman and able to intercept everything that people type through, you know, going through my computer as they connect.
Don't they have security people at the Grand Central Station to monitor just that? Or are they saying if you're stupid enough to do it, we're just going to let you get hacked?
Almost no place has protection. Like every McDonald's in the world, every Starbucks in the world has fallen prey to this. Many public libraries. You're never supposed to use what they call a public kiosk computer, like a computer that you find in the lobby of a hotel. And I can tell you, I log into. I stay in a lot of hotels, and I fire up to log in my machine, and what I'm seeing in the hotel is, you know, 15 machines that are all claiming to be, you know, Hilton hotels, and I call the front desk and find out what their exact name of their network is.
And it's not Hilton Hotel, probably.
It would, you know, Hilton Honors Guest or something like that, right? But it's, you know, it's this is the era in which we live. There's people who need it.
Now, if you do that, you walk in and you see, and you know you're not on Hilton Hotel, and you log, can't you track them down and find out where they are and say, hey, you're under arrest or something?
What crime did they commit?
They were trying to steal from you.
How did you know? How do you prove that?
Well,
One of the problems we've got is that the amount of hacking that happens is so endemic, and the word endemic means universal, right? There's so much of it that happens that there is almost no protection that you can arrange for under the law. Very few people get arrested for hacking in the world.
And the law is very good about keeping up to date on technology.
Well, that's
They
my
never
problem.
lag.
That's my problem with the laws, is the laws are 15 years behind, or however long it takes to write a bill and get it through both houses of Congress and get the president to sign it and so on. The nature of this is what's really funny, is that people, I used to come on here and give people general advice. I used to say stuff like, what you really need to do is update your antivirus software, and what you really need to do is have a firewall, and what you really need to do is change your passwords. And after a while, what I realized is there are situations where the advice itself becomes toxic, where the bad guys are monitoring what advice is being given out, and they are taking advantage of it. So you have to be very careful what advice you give out. And the advice I give out to people now is, there is no solid ground in the world to stand on. You have to stay on top of things. No, we used to say update your antivirus software. Nobody asks you to update antivirus software. We don't trust you to update it yourself. It's all updated automatically nowadays, all of it, without your permission or knowledge. We just update it constantly because we're in a world where now we're receiving 1 million new unique samples of malware every single day. And how do you possibly protect against that? Well, you can't using the old methods. You can't by being a reactive scanner, which is what we were hearing from Charles last time, is that you can't, as a reactive scanner, you're not going to catch stuff. Well, everybody has gone to other technologies. So they go to behavior blocking, they go to reputation services, they go to whitelisting, and they go to other things that are more proactive and dynamic in their ability to detect and block and prevent malware infection. So now we're looking at a world where what we want to do is prevent, and what we used to look at was a world where we tried to detect, and that's a big difference. I'm sure you'd agree.
No, exactly.
Which do you think is better? Like back then, detection, once you were compromised, it seems like with detection, as soon as you detected it, you were safe again. Until you were compromised again. Where now you have to prevent it. I mean, which one do you think is easier to build a company around?
Well, Ben, 1 million unique samples a day. 1 million unique samples a day. So if you were doing what they call string-based detection, where you're snipping out a little piece of a virus and using that as a detection method, there's no way you can write 1 million strings a day and add them to an anti-malware software. You just can't do it. It can't be done. And if you could do it, let's say you got, 30,000 people to sit at desks and write 300 of them a piece each day. First off, you'd burn those people out right fast. But second, none of the viruses samples that we see today are infecting anybody tomorrow. So the whole world has, and they did this on purpose. The bad guys did this on purpose, and their purpose was they wanted to make it impossible to protect people from using that method. So when you're getting one of those 1 million samples, they're really about 5,000 viruses, and they are morphs. They are encryption and repacked copies of those that are done with using something called server-side encryption. So what's happening is, we used to have what they call polymorphic or mutating viruses.
I remember those.
And now it's all what we call server-side polymorphism, where the polymorphism is actually happening at the bad guy's house. So you're just getting a morphed copy. You're not getting the morphing engine. And you're not infecting anybody downstream of you. The end result of this is not 1 million samples a day. It's each and every infection being a unique string unto itself. So that kills detection as a method forever. Does that make sense, Ben?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's just undoable. We're not living in that world anymore. We don't have self-replicating malware. We don't have viruses. We don't have worms. Though we do, but not in the same way that we did. And the vast majority of things are, are one-off pieces of malware that are unique unto themselves, so they can't be detected with a string. So, yeah, you would detect it, and then you would need removal strings too. You would need a script that would remove it. And if you don't think you can write a detection string for 1 million samples a day, you certainly can't write a removal script for 1 million samples a day. That's just impossible. It's just beyond all question that you would ever be able to do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're doing is we're detecting whitelisting, where we're saying, oh, these are the programs that you want to run. We're detecting reputation service, where we say, oh, these are the locations on the internet where bad things are coming from. We're judging network flow, data flow analysis, where we know that if a certain amount of code is going back and forth between certain ports on your computer, that is potentially bad news, and so on. There's other things that you would call secret sauce. And just at Black Hat, there's a guy who's going to say that it increases your vulnerability to be running anti-malware software. And
David?
I wanted to, yeah?
We can keep talking, but we have a caller if you want to take a call. And,
Yeah, let's take a call.
Let's go to South Wichita, Kansas. Computer America, Craig Crossman. Hey, Kansas, how are you?
Hey guys, how are you? Tony here.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony. I'm really jazzed that we're going to have a Magic Live next summer. That's really cool.
Me too. Very exciting. If there's any Magic geeks out there, you guys know what we're talking about already. But it's one of the premier Magic conventions in the United States for people who perform Magic and who just are hobbyists.
I'm a hobbyist. But I'm actually performing a lot of Magic these days. You can find me sitting at the Magic Castle at a table 2 or 3 nights a week these days. So
I'm jealous. I mean, I used to do that all the time. I would go to the Magic Castle and go to the close-up room, and I learned a lot of my.
See, now I just walk into Craig's den and I see him just like looking at David Blaine, just sighing with a bad look in his eye.
Blaine, anyway. No, but I mean, I honed a lot of my skills, mentalism skills, in the close-up room. I mean, it was a lot of fun to do it. And, if I lived out there, I would probably go and do basically what David's doing. But Ben got to see the Magic Castle, fortunately. He went there just before he turned 21, but we kind of begged and pleaded for them to let him in, and they let him in.
Now, with his face, how could they say yes?
I'm gonna be Tony. I'll just send you a copy. You can Tony's a friend of mine. Just send me your address. I will send you a copy of this to check out.
Okay. All right.
I am not yet ready with my messaging on the SMB products, but I will be talking with Tony about the SMB products in the future here, because we do have SMB products, and I'm going to be out talking at ISSA and CISSP groups all over and InfraGard groups all over the country. So.
Well, I didn't know Tony was a friend of yours, but that's cool. All right, and Tony, you heard he's gonna send you out.
Yeah, Dave knows that I'm an SMB consultant, and have been for some time. So that's why he was particularly bringing up the SMB products to me.
Well, SMB stands for small and medium business, and there are 3 tiers of software in the software industry. There's consumer, which is what I'm going to ship you right now, is consumer software. There's SMB for small and medium business. Small business is 1 to 10, and medium is 10 to 100, or small is 1 to 100, and medium is 100 to 1,000, depending on which company you're talking to. And then enterprise, which is 1,000 and up. And they're completely different worlds of how to deploy and manage software in each of those areas. And
David, we're up against the top of the hour, so we're going to have to say goodbye to Tony. But Tony, listen, thanks so much for calling, and keep listening. I see you're in the chat room, so we'll continue to chat with you in the chat room. Okay?
I'll see you in the chat, guys.
All right.
Talk to us about security.
All righty. All right. Since you know Tony, you know how you can get him a copy of it. But again, we'll keep the lines open. David, you're going to be able to stay with us for maybe another half an hour?
Yes, but I'm going to have to go AFK for about 10 minutes.
Okay, what? You're going to leave for 10 minutes now, you're saying?
Yes. Well, I'll see if I can make it back faster than that, but I have to go AFK.
Okay, all right, go ahead. And Ben, you got to do a couple of news stories here. 347-884-8881. I'll get Johnny to get you through. So we're going to be back with some computer and technology news. Stay with us. This is Computer America.
Broadcasting live. It's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America. Hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@ComputerAmerica.com.
Hello and welcome into Hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
So while Ben is scrambling to find a news story for us, I see you're going to paste into a link here for me so I can see what you're talking about?
Sure.
And so should we do oh, you got one. Okay, well then I'll tell you what. We'll start doing some stories here, and then and then we'll get David to come back here. So we'll just go right to some computer news, and we'll do that right now. Tonight's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. Visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free. There you go. And this first story Ben found for us is Tesla announces plan to boost production in 2000. What?
Tesla
announces plan to boost production in 2015. So, Tesla Motors, this chief executive, Elon Musk, promised shareholders a dramatic boost in the production of his company's electric cars, telling investors that Tesla will produce 35,000 cars this year and up to 100,000 in 2015. Wow. Tesla, which reported earnings Thursday, also confirmed that the company has begun construction in Reno, Nevada, on the first of possibly several battery factories. That news came hours after Tesla announced that it had entered into a long-term partnership with Panasonic to produce the vehicle's lithium-ion batteries. The $5 billion cost of multiple gigafactory locations would be shared by Panasonic, which would be expected to match Tesla's 40% commitment, with an additional 20% commitment coming from other investors and contributions from governments where the factories will be built. Early reports had said Panasonic could invest between $200 million and $1 billion in the massive facility. Tesla has said recently that California, where the Palo Alto company started and built all of its automobiles and components, was competing with Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas for the right to host the factory. As many as 6,500 workers could be employed in the battery plant or plants.
Yes. See, and that's one thing that I think Elon Musk, who's the CEO, he's also the CEO of SpaceX, the new private industry space exploration company.
Yep.
He's really big into American-made. And I know it's very common for tech companies to say, whatever makes the technology cheaper, more accessible, even if that means taking it over to China, then we'll do that. But Tesla specifically, they get all their parts from America. They build their cars in America, and now, before they had to ship in the batteries, but now they're actually going to put up plants all over America where they're going to be building the lithium-ion batteries.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I am back.
Oh, okay. Welcome back. We'll finish the story here.
I got to drive one. A friend of mine got a Tesla, and I got to drive it. I've also driven a Leaf, and I've driven a Volt, and the Tesla drives the best of all of them.
Really?
I would expect so.
Yeah. However, it costs a freaking fortune. They're expensive cars.
That's very true.
They look expensive.
Yeah.
I think they're in the neighborhood of like 60, 70, up to $100,000.
Yeah, that's
That's
too
that's
rich
that's
for my blood, to tell you the truth.
yeah, that's like a Jaguar. I mean, it looks like a Jag. I mean, it's obviously upscale.
Have you seen the new Jaguars?
Yeah.
They look really cool. They
Yeah.
look really, really cool. I've always wanted. When I was in high school, there was a guy who had a 1954 Jaguar, and I thought he had the coolest car I'd ever seen.
Yeah, they're beautiful cars.
Yeah. Anyway, so we were talking about Tesla, and they're going to make 250,000 cars.
Yep. For 2015, that's what the projection. Yep, exactly.
Wow, and I bet you half of those will be in California.
Yeah, you would think so. They said Panasonic is hands down the world's best manufacturer of lithium-ion batteries. Was quoted. Tesla is young in its capabilities around these batteries. Having Panasonic in the partnership raises his confidence. So evidently, they're going to be doing something along with Panasonic, which is basically
This is all kind of coming out because, before Tesla was indeed just that luxury car model, they had that one Model S car that sold for upwards of $100,000, and so they were only selling a couple thousand of those, 5,000 or what have you. But now, especially next year, I think the year after, they're coming out with two new models. One of them only going to be about $35,000, and they're also making like a sedan and other things. So not only so they're not just making those high-end few top cars. They need batteries now for upwards of 300,000 vehicles that they're going to be making eventually.
Wow. Well, let's hope they don't get the same batteries that Panasonic sold to Lenovo that they had to recall.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? They were space heaters. It's an added feature.
Yeah. I still haven't even run the test on my Lenovo to see if it needs to be replaced. I guess I should do that. While the recall is still active.
Well, okay. Anyway, so we finished that story, but you're back with us. So
I am back. So what kinds of things do you want to... Okay, so, here you are. You've got a mobile device. I want to talk about, we used to have viruses. Then we had malware. Now we've got, increasingly, we're seeing a lot of stories about governments, not only the U.S. government, but foreign governments as well, sponsoring malware and spyware and stuff, and we're seeing corporations sponsoring adware and spyware. For example, my favorite adware of all time is, of course, Facebook. How about you, Ben? You a Facebook user?
I am, but I'm kind of locked into the platform more than actually wanting to use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and well, here's my question though: when Facebook took your mobile copy of Facebook and made you go to Messenger, was that lowering your security in any way? Does anybody have an idea? Does anyone have a clue out in the chat room? Anybody?
I mean, the chat room might lag just because of the broadcast, but I'm going to kind of speak for them and say, well, adding another access point, that would obviously make it weaker. Just instead of one place, now you have two places that are that can be compromised.
Right, and not only that, but you've got two ports open on your iPhone at the same time when you're in, and it's two things. Wears down your battery faster. You've got two apps open. I've noticed a big difference in how fast my battery wears down is how many apps are open in the background on that iPhone. So I am actually going to sit down and go through the iPhone and strip out everybody's permission for using location services and everybody's permission to forward my, and
I did that.
Did it help?
I did that, and I have a 5S, so I didn't really notice because I rarely download any apps. Like I have maybe 3 or 4 apps from the App Store, but just turn off location services and stuff like that. I mean, it helped. The only problem with it though is every other minute. Every time you use an app, it's going to say, would you like to turn on location services? And so it got to the point where I got so fed up with it. I'm like, yeah, whatever, forget it.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm actually concerned about this because I think that there might be an actual security issue at stake here. In fact, I suspect rather strongly that there's an actual security issue at stake. I'm not pointing fingers at them over anybody else, but I once saw a cartoon of two pigs in a barn, and one of them said, "Hey, the food is great here, and it's free." And he goes, "Yeah, and did you notice the room and board is free too?" And the caption was, if you're not buying the product, you are the product. So
that's a quote that's been used many times about Facebook.
Yeah, many times about Facebook. And it's not just Facebook though, it's America Online, for example, no longer charges for access to AOL.
You remember how much they used to charge? People would, take out a second mortgage just to use AOL. It was just amazing. People get addicted to it. I
remember they would give you 9,000 minutes, and you would use them up in about an hour.
Yeah, and it was, oh wow, this will last me forever, and then they tried to bait you in, and then boy, they really they get your, and then finally they had all you could eat. They just realized they had to do that, and that was the beginning of the downfall. But I remember people would pay a fortune for America Online.
Oh, and worse than that was CompuServe. You'd pay 2 fortunes for CompuServe. You'd pay by the minute. I remember, because I was working on there doing tech support for Norton, right, on CompuServe and AOL, and running forums on behalf of sitting in an office at Symantec, but running the Symantec forum and doing support that way. We would run up a $35,000 bill for the 5 guys I had answering stuff every month.
People are going, we're hitting the way back button now.
Right.
Tony Kansas was talking about Prodigy. We're talking about, he says, I remember the Scepter terminal. It was like all those awesome graphics that you could get. I was the Apple expert on Prodigy for a number of years. People had questions about their Apple computers. I actually was the Apple expert.
I know a Prodigy joke. Have you heard of the big upgrade for Prodigy?
What is that?
It was a 1-inch piece of masking tape you'd put at the bottom of the screen.
Wow.
Prodigy came with an ad stripe across the bottom of the screen that would scroll the entire time you were on the service.
Yeah, the Scepter terminals. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
they wouldn't. You go into department stores and they would sell the Scepter terminals to these things.
Yeah, well, I used a VT100 when I first started. So no, they were back in the Wayback Machine again.
Yeah, really.
Stop doing that. It's funny because those days computers were more secure than they are today. I will tell you what I'm looking forward to this week. It's going to be very difficult to get a live show on because every night there are gigantic parties at this thing, right? But there will be, there is some interesting stuff going on about hacking into automobiles. There's some interesting stuff going on about anti-malware and about malware, and this guy is claiming that anti-malware software introduces new vulnerabilities. Well, it does in the sense that any software introduces new vulnerabilities. Every software in the world has vulnerabilities, but why would you even bother to drill down to the anti-malware software to infect that when the operating system itself and the browser itself and everything else itself is eminently hackable? Why would you bother to even find out what AV software somebody is running to find something to hack into? Does that make sense as a rhetorical question from my end of the table?
Yeah.
It's not very, the antivirus isn't exactly the high priority. I would guess something a little bit more, crucial.
Universal. Yeah, universal. It's the universality of it that makes Windows be attacked more than Macintoshes. Macintoshes are attackable just like Windows machines are, but nobody bothers because there's fewer of them. Now, what's weird is we now hear you, and I hear this quoted all the time. Oh, Macintosh was 13% of the computers sold in the world last year. You hear that? Those kind of stats get pushed around, Greg?
No, I have not heard that.
Well, whatever it is, 5%, 8%, 13%. Mm-hmm. But what they're not counting is most of the Windows machines that get sold in the world last year don't get counted at all because they're bootleg machines. There's a whole lot of people making up machines out of bootleg copies of Windows XP or Windows 7 in Asia with a generic motherboard and a generic hard drive than there are people buying any fixed price Windows machine in the world. So so there's lots of things I'm looking forward to. There's some things about Chinese hackers. There's some things about, this, that, and the other thing. There's all kinds of great stuff. Miko will be talking about malware that goes on your phone that causes it to become a Bitcoin miner for Bitcoin mining people.
Really?
Yeah, very popular thing to do now. Malware
Maliciously?
That what?
Maliciously, like, they don't know they're part of a botnet anymore?
Yeah, no, you never know you're part of a botnet.
Well, I mean, just, if your resources are getting, 90% to some program, that's going to cause, some kind of red flag, right?
Well, the thing about it is they don't have to do that if you get a big enough botnet. If you get 100,000 machines, you don't need but a 10 or 15% slice of their bits.
I figured for Bitcoin mining, the more the merrier.
It's probably true. I do not know. I will talk to him about it. Okay, I'll be attending his. In fact, I'll be tape recording his lecture while I'm there, and there's a lot of other great stuff. It is impossible to see all of it because it is 6 tracks wide. So there are 6 speeches going on at any given moment of the day. And I can only listen to so many other people lecture about computer stuff before I go right to sleep. I'm,
I would guess
that's true of anybody. If you had to go to a conference and listen to 300 hours of PowerPoint presentations, you would go to sleep too.
I would guess that's why the parties are so crazy. Everyone's ready to unwind after a long day of lecturing.
Well, it's weird. It's 2 different conferences. Black Hat's very serious, and it costs us a lot of money to attend. I'm in on a press pass and in with a pass for my company, but if I was having to buy a ticket, the ticket to Black Hat's like $4,000. Okay, and it comes with lunch and breakfast and dinner, and you get to see the keynote speaker is General Keith Alexander from the NSA, and you get to see all kinds of exciting people talk about all kinds of topics. And then DEF CON is cheap, $140 for the 4 days of the conference, and Anonymous, where your badge only says human instead of having your name on it, and they're mirror images of one another. At DEF CON you have all of the hackers, and at Black Hat you have all the security professionals. So it's they are night and day. And what's funny is General Keith Alexander got up there, and I was very impressed with Dr. Ali. I told you this last year on your show, but with General Alexander gets up there, he's the head of the NSA, and people are going, "Yeah, well, man, you're spying on us." And he goes, "Well, what we're doing is extracting metadata about telephone calls that are made to the, this and that." Now, of course, we've gotten more knowledge from Ed Snowden since then, and General Alexander has retired from the NSA. But he turned around and issued 8 security patents this week. How's that for interesting? This guy was a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant guy, and a real... watching him and watching people try to intimidate him, I kept thinking, he's an Air Force general. You're not going to intimidate him. He's a 3-star general. This guy is burly. He has more... He's manlier than that. You're just not going to scare him. But people went on and on and on, and I was thinking, like, yeah, get up and yell at the head of the NSA at a computer security conference and know that your phone will be tapped for the rest of your life.
There's a satellite with a laser beam always on you after you yell at him.
Well, he retired from the NSA. It was a tough call. It was a tough thing to have to do. And I respect that he was able to feel that tough of a haul and not even bat an eye. He had poise and control, and I thought that was admirable.
The NSA is in the chat room right now. He's one of the users.
Dennis Chay's, Craig, in all the chat rooms right now.
Well, he's in there. I'm looking right at him. Okay.
Oh, there he is. The NSA.
Yeah, right. Gosh.
And look, Addison is, yeah, right. Well, and Addison, so are we all. Isn't that true? So anyway, so yes, there are lots of things, and I will tell you this. I've said this before. I will say it again. I am not so much worried about the NSA as I am worried about the precedent of it. Because if the NSA, if the U.S. government can do it, then the Chinese government can do it, and you know they are doing it. And if the Chinese government can do it, then the Russian government can do it. The Russian government can do it, then the Russian mafia can do it, and so on and so on and so on. So it's not just that there is an agency of the U.S. government that is looking over your shoulder. It's that it is possible to look over your shoulder in all things. You know, in all things. So we live in a world where we have to get used to the idea that privacy isn't what we used to think that it is, and we have to act accordingly. And people of my generation are the ones who freak out about this, right? And I think people of Ben's generation are just kind of resigned to it, to tell you the truth. Ben, what do you think?
I mean, I hear a huge outcry because I think what's the big issue on the young generation mind, and of course I am the worst spokesman for this, but it's privacy, and privacy is going away, and I don't think people really know how much privacy they've given up or have it taken away from them. But you know, the more you hear from Snowden, the more you hear from this, and you know, the more you hear about, you know, every single phone call's metadata is being stored in, you know, somewhere in Nevada or where have you. I mean,
Utah.
Yeah, Utah. It's your privacy has been taken away from you without you knowing. So I think so I think the big fight, you know, it's not civil rights. It's the big fight is getting back personal liberty in the form of privacy.
I don't think you're going to get that back. I don't think you're going to get your privacy back. I think you have to adopt an attitude where you are aware that it is that you are. I don't think you're going to get it back. I really don't. And here is the thing. This is particularly what we're talking about on mobile devices, is that they lack privacy. And this is particularly the problem with your mobile device, with your iPad, with your phone. And that's the cutting edge of the computing platform, is the mobile devices. Wouldn't you agree, Craig?
Yeah. What is this map you just sent me? This is it's like war games or something.
These are active hacks that are going out, and it shows you where they're going, where they're from, and it's worldwide. So, I mean, it shows you know, which country is generating the hacks, which ones are being targeted, and what kind of attacks are happening in real time. So
well, and that's what it looks like too.
Yeah.
Because it's possible that any of those is somebody else masquerading as the person that it looks like.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you know, a lot of these are just server attacks. Like, you know, they're just trying to target server to server, and you know, I'm sure there's you know, not masking software, like ProXPN is a VPN software. I'm sure a lot of this is used VPN software. I mean, I doubt Greenland, you know, really attacks 100 people a minute. So I think, you know, people are just using servers from out of countries to attack other countries. Yeah. But it's just showing you, you know, hacking as it's going on is, you know, very, very, you know, happening a lot.
Yeah, it's active. Yeah, exactly.
Well, we make a solution that contains a VPN as one of the 7 or 8 things that it does. It also does blocking of malicious websites, traffic monitoring, and other sorts of things. But the mobile world, the problem is not malware. You're not looking at a malware problem. You're looking at a privacy problem, and it's big. It's a great big privacy problem. And I think you have to start with awareness. You have to start with the awareness that the privacy is not there. And this is what's funny, is the only thing that you really have a solid legal guarantee of privacy on is the U.S. mail. Nothing else really even promises you any privacy. You know, you don't even have a promise of privacy not from your ISP, not from your DNS, not from, you know, from the server, not from the social network, not from anybody. Nobody's promising you privacy in your digital person ever.
But you know, we've had companies on the past that are trying to solve that problem right now by recreating the internet. MadeSafe, I think, is MadeSafe.org. They're trying to recreate the internet. I mean, it's just the way that the internet was made, you know, way back when. And you know, I don't want to talk about, you know, way back when again, but it's just, you know, privacy wasn't concerned. It was, you know, who sent the data and what is the data. So
Right.
it's just, fundamentally the internet isn't there to protect your privacy.
Well, people come up to me who are my friends and they go, look, my computer's been hacked because here's somebody sending email from my address. Well, they don't need to get into your computer or even your email account to send email from your address, because when they invented email, they didn't put any security in it at all. Not at all. So it's a trifling thing to make to imitate somebody's email address. I used to, when I first got the internet and I was loading that big unwieldy TCP/IP stack, my brother used to send me email from Walt Disney in heaven and Laika the dog in outerspace.com, and from me and from my, and he would find out the name of my boss and he would send me email from my boss. It's what's called a Port 25 hack, and it's very, very easy to do. Very easy to spoof email as coming from another source. So everybody thinks that that's evidence that their computer's been hacked into. If your computer's been hacked into, nobody's going to bother to give you evidence, for crying out loud. When your computer gets hacked into, that's when you get the least evidence. It's when they're silent running for the most part.
It's all about the money now here. That's what it is.
Well, it's about the money and about other things as well, because let's say that you have a brother-in-law who works at Lawrence Livermore Laboratories, where they design nuclear weapons up in Berkeley, California. They might hack into you so that they can get into him, so that they can use you as a sideways step to get in front of that account. And so there's a lot of that on what we call advanced persistent threats, where people are being used to ricochet attacks into more domains of more interest. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so there's that as well. So yeah, there is money. Money's a big motivator. There's political hacktivism. We've all seen we all know about Anonymous. We all know about LulzSec, and there's lots of groups like that we will see in the future. That's not over at all yet, but I would say probably the biggest deal is corporations and governments are probably the two biggest deals in privacy loss today. And you can find out more. I'm writing about these things right now. I'm writing about who are the bad guys on my blog, which you can find at http://davidperryvirus.com. http://davidperryvirus.com, or you can just Google David Perry virus. It'll take you right there.
Yeah. Well, David, listen.
The clock on the clubhouse wall says it's time to go, Craig.
Pretty much. I want to, thank you for being here with us.
Thanks for having me on the show. This has been really enjoyable. Yeah. And I'm going to look up Charles next week, and we'll get together and do this again real soon.
By the way, those maps that was in the post, the Kaspersky map, cyber map. That's a real. Have you seen the cyber?
It's very pretty. It's like your Christmas tree.
Yeah. It is really nice. And if you go to a trade show where they have a booth, like they'll have one at Black Hat Monday, they put that up on a big 75-inch video screen, and it looks great.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's accurate, I assume, right? Exactly.
It's accurate to within the extent of the reach of their honeypots, of the where they are gathering their data from. So their user base is a bit skewed towards Eastern Europe, naturally, because that's where the bulk of their users are. They have users all over the world, but they have more users in Eastern Europe than anywhere else.
Well, listen. Again, if you want more information about F-Secure, just go to our website at computeramerica.com and just go to our show notes page, and you'll see today's show, August the 1st, and we have a link to the F-Secure website right in our show notes at Computer America. We talk about David Perry being on here with us for the first part of the show, and we have the links to F-Secure. So if you want to get any of their products or check them out, certainly. They're all there on the F-Secure website. We have that here.
And by the way, Guardians of the Galaxy,
yeah,
the whole time it was New York City. Those apes, it was just New York City. Take care, Craig. Talk to you later.
Hey, listen, David, always a pleasure having you here on the show. Thanks again for being here on Computer America.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, there he goes. All right, coming up after the commercial break, we're going to have Vincent Ing. He's going to be Vincent Ing. He is the founder and CEO of the Halo Belt Company. and they make some a really interesting line of products. And we're going to be talking to him shortly, right after the break. Actually, we're going to bring him on the show. You're listening to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network. We also have another news tips bulletin coming from with Marty Winston. We'll play that, and then of course you have less than half an hour to get that
Show reminder winner of the week.
Yeah, exactly. And a show reminder of the week too coming up. Stay with us.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 120,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, Cover America Auto Care has announced revolutionary, inexpensive mechanical breakdown coverage that is now available to the general public to save consumers thousands on auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for drivers to call who own a vehicle that is less than 10 years old for a free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number is 800-483-2514. Drivers who are covered with this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair again. This is the auto coverage now sweeping across America at a fraction of what dealerships charge and is now available to the public by calling today. The number to call is 800-483-2514. 800-483-2514. That's 800-483-2514.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MyTV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV. More of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MyTV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV. 663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV.
Hello, this is Marty Winston for Computer America with a news tips bulletin review of the iBolt S Pro 2 Connect. This is one of those things that lets you put a handset in your car, on the dash, on the windshield. It has the same usual broad outline of things. Manages some interesting trickery with good results. The 2 struts that support the bottom of a device are each rubbery sawtooth ribs, and the strut spacing adjusts from paired right next to each other to about 2 inches apart. Their topside companion adjusts to left, center, or right to stay out of the way of a handset camera. The height adjusts and locks with rear slider tabs to the device dimensions over a range of more than 1 inch and has a strongly spring another 1/2 inch of play to grasp the device. The suction cup on the base works alone on any solid surface or with an included solid adhesive disc to allow mounting on a soft. Bottom line, the iBolt S Pro Connect has handset mounting well in hand. This is Marty Winston with Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. 33 minutes past the hour, and David Perry just got off with us, but that was actually a very fun hour and a half, where actually one of our listeners got a prize from Mr. David Perry, and yeah, you know, we talked about almost everything, except the ending to Guardians of the Galaxy, which we'll talk about right now.
We have our guest on the phone.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Craig, I was gonna leave it up to you. Do you want to introduce the guest, or do you want to do the show reminder winner of the week?
We'll hold on to the show reminder of the week, and we'll do the guest.
Okay.
We'll finish up. Okay. So let me introduce our guest for this portion of the show. It's called Halo Belt, and is a San Francisco company with a goal of saving lives. Now, over the past 2 years, they have expanded their business in safety all over the globe. Their conception of the Halo Belt was brought to life with the help of the Kickstarter community. They have learned a tremendous amount about safety patterns and where Halo Belt safety can be applied. They are in markets such as law enforcement, cycling, running, children's safety, skiing, hiking, motorist, road safety, airport traffic safety, extreme sports, and yes, even the military. Now, joining us tonight is Vincent Ng. Vincent is the founder of the Halo Belt Company. Vincent, welcome into the Computer America Show. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
We're doing fine. So, you actually sent me a couple of samples here, and they're really well made. These are very nice. Tell us, what is a Halo Belt?
Well, Halo Belt is basically an LED belt. It's also 360 degrees reflective. So growing up in San Francisco, I've always, I've been an avid cyclist. So I've had a lot of close calls, and I used to be a DJ as well. So I kind of combined two passions with, mixing the light boards and the clubs as well as cycling into a safety product.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of like an intuitive move.
Okay, all right. So, how did you kind of go about? You started this in Kickstarter. I mean, what was where did you go? How did you make this happen?
Well, originally it was more of an idea. I never planned on turning it into a business or anything like that. I had this idea of making something that was easy to use, that you could just put on, a very versatile and on-the-go product. And I brought it to the Kickstarter community, and I didn't expect it to, go viral or anything like that. But I put it up, and within a few days, the idea was so simple and effective that it went viral. And it slowly turned into an international business. Now we distribute it worldwide.
Well, it was just the other day. It was in the evening. I was driving a car, and there was a gentleman who was a jogger, and I almost didn't see him until I was almost on top of the guy. It was scary. Wow.
Yeah.
And people do this. They don't realize, that they're, unless you can really kind of disappear into the background, especially on a darker road.
Yeah, definitely. And unlike traditional reflective jackets, reflectives need a light source present in order for you to be seen.
That's right.
The light has to shine on it for it to actually be visible.
Right.
With a Halo Belt, it illuminates, so you can actually be seen in complete darkness, in blind spots or like under a tree, and so on. So away from the car's headlights, people would actually notice you that, oh, there's someone there or something moving there, and it would capture their attention.
But what actually inspired you to create the Halo Belt? Did you have a near-death experience on the road, something? I mean, what was the inspiration behind it?
I've had a lot of close calls, and to be honest, cycling in San Francisco isn't exactly the safest thing to do, especially with all the hills and the crazy drivers. So one of my very close friends, John Park, actually was hit. And he was hit pretty bad, and his arm and leg was scraped up pretty bad. So that gave me an idea of creating, a safety product. And I've always been fascinated with LEDs and lighting, especially because when I DJ'd in the club, I would always control the light boards. And I just kind of took two of these things together and just put it together. And I thought, okay, what's the easiest way to make a product that's on the go? And I thought about essentials. What do you carry day to day? Your wallet, your glasses, maybe a belt. And I thought, okay, maybe a belt might be something I could use to incorporate LED lighting into. And that's how it kind of began. And like 100 prototypes later, I finally came up with something that I was quite satisfied with.
You went through about 100 different prototypes to come up with this? I mean, how did you know, well, this is not going to work, or, this may work, or did
you try, draining a bunch of glow sticks and putting it in, like, a, and trying that? Like, what were some of, the failed, attempts?
Well, originally, I used actual LED strips, And I tried to, and some people actually, after the Halo Belt came about, people actually tried to make something similar with an LED strip. And it's pretty bright. However, you got to carry a giant battery pack, and a converter and an inverter. So it didn't really make sense to wear all that, all that gadget around your waist. I feel like, especially with electronic components. So I started off with that. Then I discovered electroluminescent wire, like L-tape and L-wire, and I tried to sew that into a belt, into different types of fabric. And then later on, I discovered fiber optics. And what a fiber optic is you can maybe imagine a straw that's filled in, a clear straw, and it's shaped kind of like an oval shape, and it's been polished very finely. And if you shine an LED light through that plastic straw, it illuminates the entire thing. So I put that inside a belt and originally I covered it with fabric to diffuse the light. And now I cover it with a PVC reflective type material. And that's what creates the neon glow. So there's no electricity going through, or there's no liquid going through the belt. And people always assume that. The first reaction people normally get is like, oh, that looks like something that came out of Tron. It's a very distinctive glow to it, a neon glow. And that's part of the whole aspect of the belt, is combining fashion and culture and making safety somewhat cool and appealing. And that's why I think the Halo Belt's done so well.
Now, okay, so let's talk a little bit about it. Now, does it use batteries or does it recharge? I mean, I noticed that it has a USB plug on it. So what is all this stuff? What does it allow me to do?
Well, originally we started off with watch batteries, but this new Halo Belt that we launched we're starting to deliver this month worldwide, but it uses a compact USB rechargeable battery, and it lasts for about 36 hours and takes 2 hours to recharge.
Okay. So that's a pretty good, and of course LEDs use so little electric current, so that certainly makes a lot. And the amount of light you get now in return for that small amount of current is greatly increased over the years. The technology. I'm convinced that eventually, I think in 10, 15, whatever years it's going to take, that all of our light bulbs is going to be LED. I mean, it's not going to be compact it's not going to be compact fluorescence. Well, it's not going to be that. It's
whale oil is coming back. We don't, traditional here. Traditional.
Yeah. No. Incandescence is out. As a matter of fact, I think in many places it's going to make it illegal to have incandescent bulbs or to sell them. But bottom line is, I mean, you can see walking around, hey man, you want to buy an incandescent bulb? But I think that LED lights, I mean, they're still, when you go buy an LED bulb right now, they're still fairly prohibitively expensive. The cost is coming down, but you can still spend $15, $20, $30 for a single bulb. Granted, that bulb is going to last for 20 years, and they are improving the technologies. They're becoming dimmable now, which is nice.
Yeah.
Originally, LEDs, you couldn't dim them, and so that if you had a nice dimming system, you couldn't use it. Now they're becoming dimmable, and the costs are coming down, and eventually they're going to get down to the price of a regular light bulb, except it's going to last for 20 years. And the amount of wattage it uses it's like pennies, for using it for months. It's only a few pennies, so it's going to change the way, the face of lighting as we know it. And I think LEDs really is the future of lighting in the world, really.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's kind of like when the USB sticks came out. It used to be really expensive, or your Western digital hard drives.
Yeah.
Now they're cheap.
Yeah, exactly. The cost, and we'll see the prices continue to fall as we come. So, who would most benefit from the Halo Belt?
Well, we started off launching the product as a cycling product. Because I was a cyclist, and I didn't really expect the type of feedback or the type of consumer base that would find it useful. Like I said, I originally launched it as a project, nothing more, and it rapidly grew into a business. So our first adopters were obviously the cyclists and runners and motorcyclists. Later on, we started getting a lot of interest from sports enthusiasts, people who go camping, people who go, snowboarding and so on, or mountain biking. And then later on, we we realized that, okay, there might be a larger consumer base. And then people from the military started, hey, everyone flimsy. So our new Halo belt, the one that you have in use. So today we have like airport. And even mining companies in Australia and Chevron buying from us. So it's become a product that can be so versatile that it can really help safety aspects in all different fields.
Wow. Now, okay. So now you mentioned this is for people, but you also have a version for our wonderful furry little friends, dogs.
That's right.
You sent me three. We have 3 terriers, and we have 3. So you sent me a blue one, a yellow one, and a red one. I think those are the 3 colors they come in too, right?
I think it was blue, green, and red.
Yeah, blue, green, red. So you got those, and and you put these on. Is this the same kind of usage light? I mean, how you have the same amount of time in the pet version?
Yeah, so everything goes accordingly to the compact US battery, and everything. The belt itself weighs less than 5 ounces. I believe the exact weight is 4.4 ounces, and the collar weighs a little under that. So the light that goes through actually comes from the battery component, and that's all it is. It's just a fiber optic, so there's no electricity going through, just light shining through. So the LED is drilled into the fiber optic and shines right through it.
Ah, really? Yeah, I'm looking at some of the pictures here. You had the one with the little cat. He's wearing a green one.
Yeah, that's right.
And these are very cute. I didn't have a chance to put them. We just got them today, so I'm gonna put them on our dogs and see how they're. So basically, you don't use regular batteries. You just charge them up through a USB port. How does?
Yes. So you can use the cable attachment. It's just a standard micro USB that you use for GoPros or other.
So you can plug it in. So you can plug it into the wall. Then you put a micro USB and you just plug the charger into a wall outlet.
Yeah. So all of our Halo belts and Halo Mini pet collars come with the attachment cable, the USB rechargeable cable. So you plug it into the wall, your car. A lot of cars have USB ports now, or you can plug it into your laptop. So literally anywhere you are, you can just plug it in and charge it. And that's why people should always have one in their car, just in case the car breaks down.
Sure. That makes sense. So how long does it hold the charge for? Let's say I charge it up and then I just put it in a drawer or something. Will it maintain the charge for a period of time, or if I don't use it?
We've had Halo belts maintain its charge for over 2 months. It doesn't take a lot. It's a pretty simple mechanism inside with a chip and a tiny lithium battery, and it just holds charge really well, surprisingly well. We didn't expect it to actually do so well, but we do recommend charging it, at least once a month or something, just to, if it's inactive, just to make sure when you do use it, you do have some juice in it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, did you start this company? Did you use any venture capital funding, or was it any angel funding, or did you use Kickstarter? How did you, get the funds you needed to get this started?
Well, yeah, we don't have any funding, so we're completely bootstrapped from ground up. I took money out of my savings to work on this project as a hobby, and we've done 4 Kickstarter campaigns so far, and we've crowdfunded about $300,000 in pre-sales. So all that money that comes in goes into a product it goes into a brand new product that's never hit the market. So I think for a consumer to put their money on the line, to believe in an idea and a product, really goes a long way, because there's no track record, there's no traction, you don't know, there are no reviews on the product. It's strictly based off of what you think this person behind the computer can do.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had about 300,000 in funding just as pre-ordered product, and with that we've been able to grow. We're on track to do, I guess, over $1 million this year.
Wow. So what advice would you give to others, let's say, who are looking to start their own business at a young age? And you sound pretty young. How old are you, Vincent?
I'm 25 years old.
Okay. All right. There you go. And a millionaire already. That's good.
And I started about 2 years ago and I had no idea, growing up that I would own a business that professionalizes in helping others or saving lives. I think that's the most rewarding part, and it makes everything worthwhile. But for anyone with an idea or with something that they feel that they want to go for, I really suggest, just go for it, because the worst thing you can do is regret it. 5 years down the line or 10 or 20 years down the line, you just feel that, oh, I had this great idea and now someone else has done it, or, maybe it could have been something. And, I really say just go for it. No matter what it is, give it a try. At least at the end of the day, you would know whether it worked or not, and you wouldn't have to regret it.
Now, what are these different belts? What do they cost? I mean, you go to your website, I assume, and you can order them. How much are they?
They retail for $45 per belt, and yeah, you can find it in retailers all over the U.S., and we also have distributors all over the world.
$45, you get to select red, green, or blue for the the belt that you and what about for the pets? The mini. I guess
the minis are $35.
Okay, so the pets get off a little. It's less. So $35 gets you a Halo Mini LED pet collar.
That's correct.
And again, if you look at it, the collar glows, but it also it's sort of almost like translucence. You actually get to see through. I mean, it really lights up quite well. It's very bright, and I know there have been some other similar things out there, but I think this is probably one of the brightest ones that I've seen so far, like this.
Yeah, we don't have any direct competition. We've had, after we started our business, we've had a lot of knockoffs, and none of them actually compared to the quality as well as the build of ours. And we really tried to strive to create a very high quality product at an affordable price, so people do see great value in it. And at the end of the day, it's a safety product, and we do believe in our product, and we believe it'll save lives.
Wow. And again, you can get it at the website at the website, which is www.halobelt.com. That's spelled HALOBELT.com. And if you can't write that down, just remember computeramerica.com. If again you go to our show notes page, today's show, August the 1st, we actually have a link to the Halo Belt website. So and that just stays up, so you can check that out for yourself. Again, and listen, Vincent, congratulations and best of luck to you.
I say this with as much compliment as I can. This looks like something you'd find in Brookstone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great compliment. I'm super excited about that.
Yeah. Have you approached Brookstone or something like that to carry the product? Maybe you should do that.
We haven't yet, because this new Halo Belt is something that we were just starting to deliver 2 weeks ago, actually.
All
so
right.
you guys are one of the first people in the world to have it. And we have about $200,000 of pre-orders shipping out in the next 2 weeks.
Wow, that's going to keep you busy. Well, we won't take up any more of your time, Vincent, but thank you so much for being here with us and sharing this with us. Very, very cool product. And best
my pleasure.
And best of luck to you, too, okay?
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right, bye-bye.
Good night.
All right, good night. All right, so there you go, the Halo Belt. I actually, as I said, I have 3 of them downstairs for our terriers, and a couple of the adult ones too, as well. So if your mom and I go out at night, we'll be safe now, Ben.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you, those late night walking the dog excursions happen so often. But you can really tell the influences from kind of like the club scene. He said he used to be a DJ.
Right.
Just like the bright lights, the big bold lights. It really shows where he got it from.
Yeah, it does. You can see, yeah, right. You can see that.
But it's not a bad look. It's not gaudy or anything like that. It's a nice, diffused looking color.
But very bright that you can see it, which is
Oh
nice.
yeah, for sure.
Exactly. All right, well, let's do our show reminder winner of the week here. And this is, again, for the Logitech prize, and we'll do it right now. And this week's show reminder winner is Bob Higgins. Bob Higgins, congratulations. You win the Logitech Wireless Rechargeable Touchpad T650. It's got a large, smooth glass surface, gives your fingers the freedom to perform up to all the different Windows 8 gestures with it. It is valued at $80, and we're going to send that out to you right away. So again, Bob Higgins, congratulations on being the show reminder winner of the week. And don't forget, again, we're going to have another, just head over to ComputerAmerica.com, go to our contest page, and you'll see all the contests that we do at ComputerAmerica.com. The show reminder winner, again, that's every Friday. What you do is you have to subscribe to our weekly email newsletter, the show reminder. It's all free, okay? We give that information, anything that you enter, we give a contact info, we give it to no one, okay? Only time we give out your contact info is if you win something, so we'll give them your contact info so they can mail you your prize. Other than that, everything is completely private. It's secure, and also it's free. So we also have our Logitech contest, which ends in about 4.5 minutes, even less. That closes down at 12 midnight Eastern Time, and then over the weekend we'll draw the 3 winning names, and on this coming Monday we'll announce the 3 big winners. And we will start a brand new Logitech contest, but it's going to have a refresher prizes. Currently now the prizes we're giving away is the Logitech HD Webcam C310 valued at $50, which has that Logitech Fluid Crystal technology. The second prize is the Logitech G400S gaming mouse valued at $60. Okay, and then the grand prize is the Logitech UE600 noise isolating earphones valued at $120. Okay, so again, in about 3.5 minutes, we're going to close the contest down. So just send us an email with your full name, shipping address, and phone number to contest@computeramerica.com. That's how you make the entry. So do it now. And so you have about 3 minutes before we shut the contest down. And then we'll start a new one on next Monday, but then you have to wait another 6 weeks. So do it now. Get your entry in. You have a few more minutes to do it. And enter in all of our contests at ComputerAmerica.com. You'll have a lot of fun doing it, and
So how do you pick the winner, by the way?
How do you, very carefully.
Out of the hat?
Out of the hat. It's a digital hat, but yes, out of the digital hat we select it. Yeah, exactly. Hey, and listen, while you're at our website, check out the limited special offer from ProXPN. It's almost finished. We were talking about virtual open VPN systems with David Perry. With ProXPN, whenever you go online, basically your anonymity is protected. So even if you're using at home, your internet at home, your internet service provider can block whatever it is you may be doing if you do something that they feel exceeds their guidelines. So you want to make sure that you're safe, and with ProXPN you are 100% secure. They use 22,048 bits encryption, very, very strong. I use it on my Mac. My iPhone 5S. It's also available it adds OpenVPN to Android phones, which it doesn't have, but it lets you use PPTP if you want because it supports that as well. We want you to use it. You click on the logo, ProXPN, on our homepage. You use the special code COMPAM. You'll get an additional 20% off membership, and once you do, that's good forever, not just the one time. It's less than $5 a month when you go with the yearly plan. This is something you need. In
90 seconds.
And something that we highly recommend that you do. Again, it's all at ComputerAmerica.com. You can check out the special deal. It's ProXPN forever. You should use it, really. You'll be glad you did. Hey, we're just about out of time. Ben, what do we got coming up on Monday? Oh, we're going to have a company called AeroX, AeroX. And what
Don't they make the wireless cables?
Yeah, they have some interesting.
60 seconds.
It's in the car. They use it's a special system that you use in the car that I think that basically is no. The Aero X is the motorcycle that goes in the air. It's the flying motorcycle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the flying motorcycle, and they got pictures of it. We're gonna have the company CEO on the show on Monday night, and then in hour 2, computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. Have a great week. I'm gonna catch Guardians of the Galaxy. Go out and catch a good movie. Have fun, and we'll see you. Ben and I will see you on Monday night. So until Monday night, this is Craig Crossman, hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. What was that surprised look on your face?
Nothing.
We'll see you Monday night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching.
I forgot when you said Monday, Tuesday. I'll be back. Like Ben will be here too. And I'm like, shouldn't I be off soon? It's like, oh yeah, that's right.
That's the flying motor bike. Have you seen it? Is amazing.
No.
Yeah, you should go to the website and just look at it.
I was thinking of the Arrow, the cable company that got shut down.
Yeah, here's the link. I'm gonna send you the link right now.
I have images right here in front of me.
Isn't that slick looking? And it just goes just above the ground. It doesn't fly very high, but it's just about high enough so it's like an all-terrain vehicle.
I bet the traction is amazing.
It's just and it works like a regular one. You just lean. That's how you steer it. It's a direction of leaning. They say you can learn how to fly it and ride it in a weekend. So anyhow, I'm gonna say goodnight to everybody.
They said the same thing about horses, and I haven't rode those things since I bought them.
Okay. So I'm gonna say goodnight. And we're going to say goodnight to everybody here on our streaming video brought to you by Otherworld Computing. We'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.